when I say hypnosis, think about what I said earlier as well, mind control. The thoughts you think on a repetitive basis comprise your greater belief systems, which comprises your greater reality, what you believe is possible. The thoughts you think are at the foundation of the life that you have. Thoughts lead to beliefs, lead to reality. Okay? Literally, the first thing that you need to become aware of, and this is why spiritual practices like meditation are very important, because when you meditate, you sit and you just watch your thoughts. When you watch your thoughts, you're gonna watch and understand, like, what are the things that are running you? Most of what's running you, you have no idea about. You're very unaware. There are systems, greater things running us that we're mostly unaware of, unconscious of. Okay, so once you start looking at those things and becoming aware of them, that's when you have the time in which you can change those thoughts. The first hypnotic principle, then, I'll just call words you tell yourself. What are the things that you're constantly repeating in your mind? As you start telling yourself certain things, that conversation going on in your mind, that inner monologue, that inner narrative, what's creating your ability to think in a certain direction, take action in a certain direction. If you don't believe something's possible, why would you even attempt it? Why would you try something new? Why would you open a new business? Why would you go approach that person you're interested in? Why would you do anything if you didn't think it was possible? So the words you tell yourself, that's the very first hypnotic method. And that's piggybacked and reinforced by the second method, which is this. Very simply, it's called repetition. Repetition. Why do we love music? Music repeats. The chorus repeats. The drums repeat. You watch the news. What is going on? This is what I want you to map onto watching the news. The words are repeated. Every time you hear the words coronavirus, you hear COVID-19, you hear all these things just repeated, repeated, repeated. It's a trigger for your brain to think a certain way. It's an induction, a hypnotic induction, where you're gonna feel some sort of fear. You're gonna feel some sort of insecurity. It's even ironic that you'd go to the news, an outside source, to gain security, to gain certainty from an outside source telling you about, like, this is what's going on, we're the authorities, we know what's happening, we're gonna tell you whether or not you're gonna be okay. The last of the 3 hypnotic principles I wanna share with you is the word focus. With focus, literally, it has to do with what you're thinking about, the words you're telling yourself, those words you're repeating to yourself. Focus as it has to do with what you're focused on. Are you focused on how you feel right now? Are you focused on inventing in your mind scenarios in the future? Are you focused on what has happened in the past? Are you focused on right now? Are you focused on the sensation in your left pinky finger? Not until I say that. Most likely, you're focused on what you're seeing. Okay, so when you watch the news, watch how quickly everything will change. No more than 5 or 6 seconds on any particular frame. It's gonna keep changing. Watch the ticker at the bottom go by. Everything to change your focus very rapidly, okay? That's all hypnotic induction. Your attention span, the human attention span, they've tested this out to be, at the current moment in time in 2020, it's on a significant decline, but it's no more than a few seconds. Go look up the number for yourself. For the sake of what I'm saying, I don't need to provide you. It's about 5 or 6 seconds at most, okay? Go look it up on Google right now after this video. Your focus, if I say, hey, look over there. No, look over here. Look up here. Look down there. Where you're looking, that changes your focus. Now I'm looking right at you. Looking down, looking at how I feel. Trying to remember something, looking that way. Point is, as your focus shifts, as the stimulus changes, if all of a sudden I heard a sound coming from over here that was a low rumbling sound, or I thought I heard a grizzly bear coming from over there, I'm not gonna focus on you. I'm gonna focus on the threat immediately, and then I'm gonna start focusing on where I need to run to get away from the threat. So our stimulus in our mind, in our environment, is gonna tell us what to focus on. The reason why you weren't focused on your left pinky finger until I mentioned, hey, what does your left pinky finger feel like? Your conscious brain can only take about 1% of the stimulus in. Subconscious is handling the rest of everything else. At any given moment, your subconscious mind is about 1,000,000 times stronger than your conscious mind. So what you're thinking about, that inner narrative, that's 1%. Your subconscious is dealing with all the rest of the information. Okay, the 3 hypnotic principles, again, to go back through them in review. First one you have is the words you tell yourself. The second one is repetition. Go do it. Love you guys.